What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel today for another review. Lucas and I are giving you our spoiler-free review of Power Book 2 Ghost episode 401. Yes, the good folks at Stars gave us an opportunity to check the first episode of this season, and we're here to give you our spoiler-free thoughts about it. So yes, you all know that we give these very extensive recaps at the conclusion of each episode. Those will be available throughout the season. But tonight, this review is only for episode 1 and our review of it. So for me, I got to say this episode was really, really good because first things first, just to make sure we get the proper credits. This is from the director, Brendan Walsh, who not only directed this episode, but will be directing episode 409 and has previously directed episode 309. So if you remember 309, which is the ninth before the 10th, is always one of the most explosive episodes. So if you know, you know. And written by Michael C. Martin, they did a really good job in really shifting the tone for this season. One, we get a fantastic reintroduction to all of our characters, including some new ones. And then we actually see the Power show really take a step into like a new tone, but like a new direction. I got to make sure I give Lucas a second to talk here, but like the easiest way for me to put it is that this episode is really like action packed, and not because there's a lot of action, but because it doesn't feel like a drama. It feels more like an action show. There's a lot of moments where bullets are flying, where stakes are high. You get a little bit of unpredictability in terms of what may happen. But nonetheless, where all these things are occurring, we're getting reintroduced to the characters, understanding their stakes, where they're at, their alliances, their allegiances, and it's really resetting things and shifting them into a new direction for this season. Typically, we just get brought back, and it seems kind of like, oh, we're here. Let's just welcome everybody back. To me, it's almost like going into a party and they're already on like the hottest song of the night. You know, they came in very much guns blazing. But I enjoyed this episode. It definitely will have you all hype. I really can't wait for you all as we could break it all down for you all, and we could talk about all the events of it. But this episode definitely has a lot going on. What is your thoughts, sir?
This is, again, you said it perfectly. This changes the pace from what we're accustomed to this show. This is not the thrilling type of genre type of episode. This is more reminiscent of a show like a Gangs of London or any other show that is deeply action packed and feels relentless. Because that's a good word to use for this episode. It is extremely relentless in the best way humanly possible, because even when the action isn't relentless, the storyline moves very quickly. And that's a positive here for this show, because for you to enter in your fourth and final season of a show and then to change up the pacing of what's expected out of your show, I think that's a great thing. And this first episode hits you extremely hard. About halfway through it, you're kind of wondering, like, wait, okay, let me try to slow down to pay attention to what I saw. But the episode at no point in time slows down. It runs very rapid to give you the conclusion of a few arcs, but a few characters, things of this nature, things just to get you back ingrained into exactly what you're going to expect from this season of Ghost. And I think that's the key element here. This is an introduction to the characters again in a very fast-paced action type of way, which you're not going to expect from this show.
Yeah. This episode is titled I Don't Die Easy, and the synopsis reads that Tariq and Brayden must find a way to secure their own safety as Noma and the Tejadas race to take them out. Monet fights for her life for another chance to do right by our children. So with everything that being said, I listen, there's a lot of comparisons in this episode, or you can almost say like there's a lot of like calls to the John Wick series, which is probably like the craziest thing to say. But you will see some similarities between John Wick and this episode. I would also go as far as saying that when you look at the writer, Michael C. Walsh, who makes his Power universe debut, when you look at his resumes, you can understand by that measure of catalog what you could expect with this. And
Yes.
by all means, as you said, Gangs of London, yeah.
Gangs of
That's
London. Yep.
yeah, from the AMC show, right?
AMC show. Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely a great comparison. Although he didn't do that show, but like that is a great comparison of the tone. So you take that and you look at all the other shows that Michael C. Martin has done, then you can get an idea of just what to expect in this. And then when you talk about the characters, like our normals are bad. The Tejadas, Brayden, Tariq, but they absolutely make some choices in some characters that don't show up, characters who don't stay around long, and then ultimately we do get the very first introduction of Michael Ealy's characters, Detective Don Carter. There's no secret that he's been cast for this season. He was a big casting announcement, so you do get a quick and early sort of introduction and the motivation behind this character. So he will be a force to be reckoned with. And then you see characters like Davis McLean in a way that we haven't seen. And matter of fact, speaking of characters in a way we haven't seen, you will see Brayden and Tariq with their backs against the wall, unlike any other season yet. And very strong performance by Michael Rainey in this episode, really having us really by the tie with Tariq in terms of what is to happen next, because he has everybody against him and nowhere to go. So
there you go.
Really good episode. I don't know what else I can say. I will say this. I'll say this. Monet fights for her life for another chance to do right by her children. We will, by all means, get Monet's fate. As we know, she was shot from last episode. But before her fate is determined, Monet will have to do some measure of self accountability in a way that should make you all very well, I don't know what the word to say, but you all will be very excited for how that's going to be done. I'll put it that way there. Trying to dance around what to say with that. Yeah, a lot goes on in this episode, and by all means, once you're done the first episode, you're going to be like, man, where's episode 2? Because they do a lot in this episode. And this season, if this is an indication of what this season is going to be, man, we're in store for a ride. So yeah, you got listen, stay locked in, because June 7th, this episode, man, is going to be a crazy one. Monet and her fate, and somebody's gonna get their hands dirty, and somebody possibly may not make it out of this episode. I don't know who or what. You're just gonna have to wait and see. Got to wait and see. Anything else you want to add, Sir Lucas?
I mean, again, this is what you tune into Power for. In all honesty, you tune in for these. We normally get these breakneck pace episodes later on in the season, but they open up the season with this. But still, this episode just has just enough emotional depth to it that is going to intrigue you on more with how the characters are going to move for the remainder of this season. But for this, like 50 plus minutes, just strap in, be prepared. A lot of stuff is going to happen, and it's going to come at you at a rapid pace that you're not accustomed to for a beginning episode. But still, it does a great job of reintroducing you to all the characters, just in case you've forgotten some of these past actions they took to get to this season. They do a great job of bringing those up in creative ways to get you intrigued as an audience member to wonder what's going to happen next. So this is, for a final season, this is the way you open up a final season. Get you intrigued enough to wonder where the heck is episode 2. And I think that's what everyone who sees this is going to be thinking.
Yeah. Yep. Well said there, sir. Well, with that being said, folks, get in the comments. Let us know your thoughts, your excitement for Power Book 2 Ghost as it returns in just a few days. This is our review of episode 401, I Don't Die Easy. which will be premiering June 7th. And once it premieres, jump back over to the channel because our recap review show will be available for you as we break everything down, full spoilers, full discussions with you all, and we look forward to seeing you there. But until then, thank you so much for tuning in for our review of episode 1, and we'll see y'all back in just a few days.